finish off South Florida. They're at the 2-minute warning. 27-14 Seminoles. 12th-ranked Clemson Tigers are up on App State 38-0. That's midway through the third. Number 1 Ohio State will take on Hawaii at 3:30 Eastern. The game of the day from the SEC, of course, number 19 Oklahoma and number 23 Tennessee. That's at 6 Eastern. Bob Stoops.
This is what we've done. We're not going to change. We believe in if you're going to be one of the top programs, you play other top programs, and it's exciting for our fans. It's exciting for college football. It's exciting for us. But it only really works when you win.
Later games, there are quite a few good ones, especially number 7 Oregon, number 5 Michigan State in East Lansing. That starts at 8 Eastern. Number 8 USC will take on Idaho at the Coliseum, also 8 Eastern. Number 4 Baylor gets going at 7:30 Eastern. Number 21 Mizzou will take on Arkansas State at 7 Eastern. Tennis from the U.S. Open. Women's final about to get going. The 26 seed Flavia Pannetta will take on Roberta Vinci, who, of course, dispatched Serena Williams. And, of course, the men's final tomorrow, the 2 seed Roger Federer faces the 1 seed Novak Djokovic.
Best year with alongside 2011. Obviously, I'm only thinking about winning that U.S. Open trophy. That's why I'm here. And
Roger Federer looking for 18. Djokovic looking for number 10. They'll get going at 1 Eastern. Pete Fox, NBC Sports Radio.
This is KCAA.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Kcaa.
We found the problem with your car.
And
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
what?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience, and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
Welcome to I'm Mad as Hell with Lloyd Brock and Greg Simpson. Now, if you want to share your anger, this is the station, KCAA, every Saturday at 12 noon. If you're mad as hell at the government, politicians, IRS, your bank, a car dealer, or the court system, let us know. You may want to be one of our in-studio guests or just call in and vent that anger. 1-888-909-1050 or 909-888-5222 locally. We may not be able to resolve your individual problems, but we will give you a forum to share your anger with our listeners. Now, join us at KCAA 1050 AM and at kcaaradio.com or check us out at Ustream. Now, here's Lloyd and Greg.
Boy, am I angry! Oh! What are you angry about today, Lloyd?
Just read the local papers, my God. Yesterday's LA Times business section has an article here written by David Lazarus about United CEO. His deal gets Flyers into misery. And really, the CEO of United Airlines is resigning because he's been accused, or this week, amid the corruption probe of the federal investigators, and Smizik denied any wrongdoing, but he decided he's going to resign. But he quit instead of being sacked. He's entitled to full severance benefits.
What do they call that, a golden parachute when you're a big shot?
Yeah, but I'm so angry I can't even speak.
Okay, you can't even talk
He gets $5 million
Get
cash right up front, and his whole deal, it says, could be up to $20 million.
Wow.
In case he's ever in the mood to travel, no problem. Smizik gets free first-class tickets on the airline for the rest of his life.
First class, huh?
Yeah. And he also gets free airport parking for life, health insurance until he's eligible for Medicare in about 4 years, and oh yes, the keys to a company car. And I'm sure that isn't one of these little economy ones.
No, I'm sure.
But this is a mighty sweet deal for a CEO. The company's stock is down 15%.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got relatives that work for this company, and they're very upset, this airline, because they're not taking care of the employees, and they're getting more complaints, and they're at the bottom of the scale. I don't know what happened, how they make these deals with these CEOs is beyond me, because it's, they write them to attract that CEO to their company, and a lot of times they say, well, you got to have M&Ms on the seat of my car every time that I go out, and all these ridiculous little things. And
well,
he says,
how do they find these guys? That's what I'm wondering. How do they find these? Is there a special think tank? Or
no, they have an agent, just like a sports deal.
Okay.
Their agent negotiates this, and he's usually a lawyer.
Of course.
And he negotiates these deals. But, if he's under corruption investigation by the feds, there should be a clause in there. If for any reason you're under investigation for corruption or anything else, embezzlement, whatever it is, you do not qualify for these retirement benefits, period. Or at least they could have given him, a coach first instead of first class. Can you imagine how the ex-CEO for
give
life
him a bus. Let him ride a bus. The airplane's not going to be in business long doing this.
And I'd give him a beat-up old car. He probably specified in that contract that he wanted a Cadillac or a Mercedes the company car. But this is what really makes me angry, and a lot of people.
I bet you not a Yugo.
And who does it hurt? It hurts the employees. It hurts us travelers.
Sure.
And as I say, it's not a good thing. And I don't know who could make it go away. Probably if anything happened to him, his severance package would go to his wife and his relatives, so it would go on forever, and they'd probably get first class.
Right.
Another item, aren't you? What are you ticked off?
I'm ticked off. Well, I'm not really ticked off or grumpy. I'm cheer challenged.
Well, somebody said you were grumpy.
Yeah, well, I'm just cheer challenged.
Oh, yeah, well. Another thing I wanted to bring up now is the politicians.
Right.
And I see that...
They make me grumpy.
Well, yeah, but
me mad.
we voted him in office, and I've I've sent emails to my senators, my congressmen, telling them I do not want them to vote yes on this Iran treaty deal.
I wonder what the public thinks. Yes on it, or are they against it?
75% of Americans are against this, and yet it's going through. So what did we elect these people for? I mean, they're sitting there, and they're going to, oh, well, we know better than you. We're going to go ahead and pass this thing.
What's this, politically correct to get reelected? What is it?
No, they just want to go along with Obama's guidelines.
Oh, boy.
But that's really, you should write to your congressman, tell him how unhappy you are about this. And your senators, Feinstein wrote me a letter back, or an email, saying these are the reasons it's good for America. And
anything makes sense?
Well, Iran hates our guts.
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
you know, they've said it every day. We're going to give them $100 billion.
Didn't they once take 444 people hostage?
Well, yeah,
do
we
bad
still have
things?
four hostages over there that they won't release.
Oh, okay.
That should have been a condition of the treaty in the first place.
Sure.
But then they've got all these other things that they can sell the oil in the open market now, make more billions.
Sure.
And there's no accounting for that $100 billion or the money they get to buy weapons, to
anything
point towards us.
Or Israel,
yeah,
our friend, your allies.
That's right. There's, you know, the whole big thing was that we don't know what's in those bills or what's in that deal completely.
No.
And they say, you know, that they're allowed to inspect their own properties and say, no, nothing's going on here. That military base that they suspect had most of the material for a nuclear weapon. And doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It makes none.
We've got to be able to monitor that. And they say, well, this is the best
But
deal we
like
can
you
get.
say, our politicians, the people we elect into office, aren't listening.
No, they're not. And you should hold them accountable.
Yes.
At the next election. And
everybody's got a chance. Next election, you hear.
You can push them out of office.
Put them out of business.
And we have, as I say, that's the only thing I know that I've contacted and I've done my share, but nobody's listening. And if they don't, make them pay.
Yeah.
Don't reelect them.
That's right.
Like you've done so many times in the past.
That's the way we did it before. We just don't give them another term in office, and they're done. And
no, but I vote for the man, not the party.
That's right.
You know, and I vote across lines, but you know, basically,
I think everybody should. They should vote their conscience. They should vote who they are and what they are, and if they think this is a good deal to have somebody with a nuke that hates us,
well, yeah,
with $100 billion bank account, that doesn't sound smart to me.
And they have relationships with North Korea,
with all our
giving information to them, and
sure,
you know, so it's not a good thing. And everybody says, "Oh well, if you don't do this deal, within 6 months they'll have a bomb." Then you know,
I imagine they have a bomb now. It's just a matter of developing the delivery system and whatever. You know,
that's possible.
I'm sure they have a bomb. They're not that hard to make, I guess.
This is not going to make them quit, and they've already said so.
That's right. It's not going to deter them a bit.
What more do you need? Wake up, America!
What happened with Saddam Hussein? You know, he had the inspectors there every week, and they never found anything. Why? There wasn't anything there? No, because of the way it's conducted.
Well, they usually advertised where they were going to be too.
A week
so
early.
They just said, you know, we've got this or that.
Yeah.
We have a special guest coming on the phone in a few minutes. And this gentleman, as I say, his background is pretty interesting. He was born in Africa. His name is Dr. Samuel Sapoya.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's been a doctor here in San Bernardino. He came in 84, 85, and started practicing medicine here in San Bernardino. And he's a fine man, good doctor, just an excellent person.
He's your doctor.
Yeah, he's my doctor, my wife's doctor before mine even. So we've been affiliated with him at least 30-some years.
And we did... Greg and I did a documentary on him. I actually produced it, and it's called The Hijacking of a Bank Account, and it's on YouTube for anybody who wants to view it. You go to YouTube, and then you put in Smoking Alien 3 Productions, and then the hijacking of a bank account. So we've got, I guess we've got him online pretty soon. And we've got, as I say, I advise people to go see the full documentary on what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I'll give you a brief overview. He was married. He was set up in a business scam that we couldn't prove really, but we put it in court. And his CPA was married to a lady who was also very good at office work. So the CPA said this lady that was actually his wife was his relative, and Doctor hired her to work for him on September 1st, 1992. On November 1st, 1992, as the events go, she and this accountant separated.
Do we have the doctor online? No, he's not here yet. Well, he was called into emergency. He was supposed to be here in studio.
And he's been at the hospital since 3 a.m. in ICU. I guess everybody in San Bernardino's hurting everybody else in San Bernardino. So he's over there taking care of you guys.
So he should be calling in, but you can go ahead with your story.
Anyway, and as it goes, they had a relationship. It became a more serious relationship, him and Vadai. And in May 18th, she divorced this kind of Kcaa. And May 20th, she approached doctor to get married or something. So he drew up a prenuptial agreement just in case he hadn't, said yes or no then. And they had a travel trip to Africa. So they were traveling to Africa, and on May 27th, as it was, they were going to Nairobi, and she had set up a marriage there in Nairobi through their justice of the peace, I guess you would call it. Anyway, they got married at that time. The marriage lasted less than 3 years, and she absconded or took over $3 million of the doctor's money and wasn't vindicated in court.
No? Oh, okay. I think we got him on the line.
Okay.
I think we do.
Doc?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there he is, Dr. Spoya.
Yes.
What are you mad
I'm
about?
on the line.
I know you're mad as hell.
No, I tell you, that's okay. I'm all right.
Yeah, I know, but you were married to the woman from hell, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it was all set up.
And did she take you for some money? Did she take you through the court system and drain your bank accounts, sell your real estate, and do a bunch of awful things that the court condoned and, in fact, helped?
Yeah, and they never had a hearing, although I'm the one who took the case into the court. They never had, everything was had behind doors.
Yeah, jeez.
According to the documents that you've given me, and I have here, it just documents a case of misjustice and horrible things going through our San Bernardino court system that nobody should suffer. And you seem to be the
target, yeah.
The target of the football in that stadium. So,
but she took you for what, over $3 million?
Yes, approximately that. A lot of my assets which I had were all taken. She ripped off my account.
Yeah. Now you were divorced. You divorced her in what year?
I divorced her shortly after the marriage lasted at least over 2 years.
June 15th, 1995.
And no children of that marriage?
None.
And she came back last year with a spousal support agreement that the judge honored, right?
Exactly.
And for how much money?
Well, they took all the money which I had in my retirement account because her ex-husband, whom I didn't know was her husband, they lied, both of them. He's the one who brought her into my place because I was looking for someone to do my accounting, and I trusted him when he was really crook.
Oh, yeah. That's evident. But then the judge passed or signed an agreement to where they could raid your bank accounts, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I talked to one of the executives at B of A and they had said they had no choice but to hand over the entire account, the money that was in there, because of the judge's order. It says we can't go against this, but they had they took all your retirement. Well, she was only entitled to half of it.
Yeah, they took all of it. According to the documents, they took all of his retirement.
Yeah. Now,
and not only that,
oh yeah,
they have gone way beyond that, because they decided they're going to take my property, my home, and I have been paying another close to, I think, $60,000.
Yeah.
$600,000.
$600,000.
I'm paying, because when she's already married.
Yeah, she's been married for.
Yeah, and you had a prenup that they never honored, and I can't believe that this happened. Sounds like you're dealing with a kangaroo court in San Bernardino.
Well, they have proven the point that they are, especially, and they are fighting me because I had an issue with the presiding judge, who was not supposed to come to attend the issue dealing with the community hospital. So we challenged him, so he decided to retaliate, and that's what a good judge does.
Is this Judge McCarville?
Mm-hmm.
Judge McCarville. Well, he should have recused himself because he had prior dealings with you.
Sure, he should.
At the hospital, and they weren't exactly friendly, were they?
No, they were not friendly. In fact, he's the one who decided to come and take over the case, and he's one who gave away all my money, opened up my account, and in fact, they paid off the law firm which was in Los Angeles, which was handling my case, and they assisted everybody. It's unbelievable.
Well, that sounds like retaliation to me. What do you think, Greg?
I think retaliation's a good word for it. Or just trying to drive him out of business and out of San Bernardino.
And you're guilty regardless of what you do.
That's right. You can't say anything. It looks like you've documented everything, and they just laugh at you, more or less.
Well, it's just, and you never appeared for a lot of these hearings.
No, there wasn't any hearing, and every time there was a hearing, their lawyer took them into the judge, and the judge had it in their back room. No one knows what they said and why they did what they did. There had never been a hearing where she was in court.
Well, what did your lawyers do about this? That would be.
I went to several lawyers, and all of them, they told me one thing: it's a kangaroo court.
Right, and they said it's a big. I've got the letters. They say, well, this is a huge miscarriage of justice. But what are we going to do? Is really what they're saying. They filed some writs. They filed some motions. I think you had 4 or 5, and just the one set of motions, and each one left the case, and you went to the next one. It was awful.
Yeah, they tried to take away your license, didn't they? I don't know where that came from, but they tried to get you for what? Medical malpractice?
Several things they have tried, and they are still trying.
Of course, it didn't work, did it?
So they have one which is now going on, which they were saying that someone I never operated on, and that was they put in the part of the gastrointestinal tract in the wrong place. And consequently, and I wasn't there. They turned around and they took like the one responsible for what happened, and they're still going on. They have basically a hearing for next year.
I'll be darned. It never ends, does it, Doctor?
It never ends, but the good Lord.
He's not blind, is he? He knows what's going on.
Tell us about that first malpractice case. You were out of town at the time, weren't you?
I was out of town, yes.
And what happened?
Again, they tried the same thing. And I had to take that to a different level because they wanted that I need to be treated by a psychiatrist because I'm crazy. And they wanted me to pay them a large sum of money for their investigation. They wanted me to go for psychiatric treatment as well as being suspended for 2 years from practice, which meant that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you had to go to court on that one, but then they came up with what? Computer reports?
I took it to the High Court, and I showed exactly in fact, the licensing board wrote a letter to the doctor who had examined and said there was nothing wrong done there. And the letter is part of the court, which is not the appeal court where I went. It stated clearly that, they told him he has to find something which could stick. So he sat back and wrote about 5 different things. I felt sorry for him because I thought he was bribed, but most importantly, it was not his intent. So if the licensing board is comparing you to do something, so he wrote the trash. I didn't challenge him because I would have taken him to court for lying. It was proven to the court, and the judge was so upset, and he said he does not want to hear any more of this, what was going on. And they haven't stopped. They're constantly hounding me. They're trying to cook up something that you did this or you didn't do this.
Well, see, you stirred up a hornet's nest here.
Amen.
and you made some enemies, and they want to get back at you. And, people can do that if they've got power and money. And they
have the power.
Yeah, but what do you, and how much from last year, she got over a judgment for over $300,000?
She got more than that, and she's already married the very minute she left. In fact, she got married to me. She just got her release. Her husband, who brought her to me, signed a release, and she came, and I was going to go to overseas, and she decided to come with me. And over there, she touched me, blah, blah, and we got married over there. And as soon as she came back here, her idea was she started rooting, and I found out in a hurry in the middle of the night. I spent the whole time at the court reporting my case, and all those documents, the court was told to throw them away. No one knows exactly what I reported to the case, and it's amazing. I am really shocked. Yeah.
Well, so are we.
Yeah, I'm sure the listeners are too.
And the fact that she could get spousal support after how many years of divorce?
2 years, and they said for life.
No, but you were divorced when?
She was divorced June 15th, 1995.
Okay, since that time, all those years.
That's 20 years.
She comes back. I thought there was a statute of limitations on these things, but apparently not.
Not in his case, not in Doctor's case anyway.
Oh, jeez.
They hate me with passion, and they are ready to torture me. If they have their way, probably they will do more than that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
And what's the status of the case right now?
I am paying because they told her they sold the credit. Their lawyer has been lying all the time, and he continues lying. And consequently, they decided they put a lien on everything which I have even in my house, and they granted her because I didn't pay her in time. So I had to come up with another about $750,000 I have to pay. And they sold this to some character whom they claim that he's a collector, that by the he sold her credit to him, and he has been, and we are still paying on that.
Oh, that's
the next step. Oh my God, this is awful. Even worse.
Yeah.
But you got
that is the justice.
Well, it would be.
That's the justice.
Yeah, it sounds like you didn't have some very good lawyers.
I had the best of the lawyers.
If you look at the who's who, they are the best lawyers.
I had different 5 individuals. I can give you all the details. Believe me, they were the top of but everybody, they wanted the case to go always in the back room. There has never been any hearing. And I was upset with the lawyers not really addressing that. Those from Los Angeles, 2 of the top lawyers for all the Hollywood celebrities, they were involved in this case. And one of them told me plainly, he said, whose number number 4 or 5, because he said San Bernardino is a kangaroo court.
A kangaroo court, and that's what you were dealing with. Well, we've got to take a break in a few seconds here, and we'll come back. We'll come right back and talk to you, doctor, in just a few minutes. Okay.
They want me to go to I've got a patient who is waiting.
Okay. Okay, Doc. We'll talk to you again on this.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
If you're getting madder by the minute, stand by. Lloyd and Greg will be right back.
Do you like craft beer from microbreweries?
Of course I do.
Well, you know what? I found the best craft beer in the Inland Empire, and it's brewed at Oak Hills Brewing Company in Hesperia.
I've never heard of it.
Well, it's about time you visited. All their beers are brewed on site from the very best ingredients available. Typically, they have between 12 to 14 beers on tap at any given time.
Wow.
I personally like mango orange wheat beer. It's flavored with orange and mango juice.
Ooh.
Duh.
Yeah.
But
wow.
it's a light citrusy beer with a tropical twist. It also
sounds like Hawaii.
Gives me the feeling of their other beer, Moderation Cream Ale. It's surprisingly good. I like both.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like a soda.
Well, I hope you go there. You sound excited.
I'm going.
You know, children are welcome if they like root beer, ginger ale, and cream soda.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. Visit their tasting room and take the behind-the-scenes brewery tour. It's really fascinating. They're open 3 days a week, Thursday from 3 to 9, Friday and Saturday from 1 to 10.
Oh, boy.
I knew you'd say something.
Yeah.
Okay. For more information, go to their website. It's oakhillsbrewing.com. That's oakhillsbrewing.com.
Right.
You'll find a map with directions and a list of all their beers. And to find the best craft beer in Southern California, where would you think you would be going?
Oak Hills Brewing Company.
In
Hesperia.
I thought you'd say that. It's worth
the trip. I know. It is.
Trip. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Use the power of the sun and save money on your utility bills. Solar power has saved many residents as much as 75% on their utility bills. But finding a good contractor can be difficult. Look no further. Euclid Energy Performance Contractors is a family-based business in Upland. They not only do solar panels, they also do windows, insulation, heating and air conditioning, and custom remodeling. Call 909-285-4406 for a free energy evaluation, or check out their website, eepcontractors.com. Don't get ripped off when you need a smog check for your vehicle. Quick Smog Check in Montclair guarantees your vehicle will pass or you pay nothing. That's right, if it doesn't pass the test, you don't have to pay. No wait smog checks. Go to Quick Smog Check 5438 Holt Boulevard in Montclair. Open 9 to 5, 6 days a week. Call 909-626-5436. And remember, you pass or you don't pay at Quick Smog Check in Montclair. Tell John you heard about it on I'm Mad as Hell.
Kcaa.
Welcome back to Mad as Hell.
Yeah, we're back. You know, and the doctor has good reason to be mad as hell.
He sure does. If any of us have a reason to be mad, he does.
He had an emergency. He had to go and see a patient right now, so we're glad that he was able to make it. He was supposed to be here in studio and tell us all about it, but actually, the documentary that I mentioned earlier is available on YouTube. Tells you the complete story. He's got documentation to back everything up. And you go to YouTube and then type in Smoking Alien 3 Productions, and then you scroll down to the hijacking of a bank account. And that's what she did. She did more than that.
And with the help of the government, with the help of the court system and the banking system, it just goes on, and it's horrible.
Well, I'm sure our listeners want to know what happened to her, where she is.
Yeah, she had a large nonprofit she opened in Hawaii, very lucrative, very wonderful, I guess, and helping these Indian kids go to school.
She had girls' schools in India.
And she was supporting that. They did some drawings or paintings or something with the sugar from her religion, and she was thriving. But somebody.
Well, she was getting donations from the islands, and a lot of rich people.
So I imagine she was doing the same thing there that she was doing here. Anyway, somebody talked to the district attorney there in Hawaii. And
no, the attorney general.
The attorney general, excuse me. Somebody, we don't know who.
Yeah,
maybe we do. Anyway, they talked to the attorney general there in Hawaii, and 21 days later, this nonprofit, which was very lucrative, closed its doors.
Well, hopefully she needs to be in jail.
Yeah,
but she can come back here and probably get more from.
Yeah, when she gets broke, she'll come and get doctor a little bit more. Yeah.
I say there's no justice. He never got any.
No, he's out there saving lives right now instead of coming here and flying to everybody that might listen to help. He's over saving their lives in the ER. And
he should have, as I say, he should have been retired, but he can't retire as long as she's on his back. So this may be a warning to people. Make sure you double check, do a background check on the person you're going to marry, whether it's male or female.
Sure.
And find out, exactly what's wrong. And that reminds me that the doctor had her investigated by this investigation company in Orange County. And for years, he paid, over $100,000?
Yeah, he paid about $130,000 to that investigating.
That investigator, and he asked for the results, and he could never get them. So he asked me to intervene, and I was, as I say, being a former Treasury, I worked for the Treasury for 25 years, not the IRS. It was the Bureau of Public Debt. But at any rate, they do listen to me. And when I was over there, I managed to contact the gentleman who investigated this, and he said, his partner ripped him off for over $100,000. In fact, about $200,000. And he says, I've got those records. And I said, why didn't you respond to the doctor? So he didn't respond to the doctor, but he turned over the records to me, several boxes of these records, and they're critical too.
Oh yeah,
and they
very much so.
So we went on with the case, but and it helped. As far as making a case against her, but it didn't mean anything to these judges.
To the court.
They have a blindfold on. And, they say justice, it's blind.
Yeah, it is blind.
Over here it is. There is no justice for Dr. Sepoya. At this time, if somebody could get around the system and break that, but it seems like it's a...
we could take your calls. We'd like to hear from you guys. If you have any ideas or any comments on this, you can call local 909-888-5222. And toll free if you're out of the area is 1-888-909-1050.
Yeah, if this is, as I say, if you've got similar cases or you had something that you didn't like, these judges, maybe you appeared before them too and didn't get justice, whether you're male or female.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference. We're not gender biased. But at any rate, that was, he still has this ongoing situation where he's got to pay all this money. And if anybody out there knows how to stop this, please let us know, because it's just a terrible situation. And I don't know why. I told him, I said, you go to take it to the Supreme Court of California. Maybe they'll do something about these judges. And they have a judicial review, and some judges have been removed in Los Angeles, but over here it seems like it goes on and on and on.
They get promoted when they get a lawsuit against them. Instead of going the one way, they like lawsuits. They get promoted. Do something more. It's ridiculous.
So if you've got, it doesn't have to deal with this case,
Anything, any type of.
Yeah, anything that you have to say locally, it's 1-909-888-5222. And give us a call, and we'll try to answer your questions. We do have, I wanted to remind you of something. Here's a great saying, and see if you know who said this. When you're happy, you enjoy the music. But when you're sad, you understand the lyrics. Who said that?
Well, I cheated. I know who said it. I'm not going to.
Oh.
I looked. Yeah, Frank Sinatra said it.
Oh, yeah. Great talent. But that's so true. We have another topic that I wanted to go over. Basically, it was the degrees that people get from college today. And people are mad as hell. They talk to me in public. They just got their degree and can't find a job. So they had to take a job as a waiter, bartender, manual labor of some sort. They even work at McDonald's. They've got a lot of people, that are out there working in fast food operations that can't find a job in their career field. And they paid thousands of dollars for this. And it's a shame. And somebody, they called me. I graduated from Cal Poly many years ago. And somebody called me from there to talk to the students about opportunities in government because I had worked for them for so long. And I said, there's really a freeze. And they had let our division go. So, as I say, we're no longer in existence. That's why I retired, because they did away with the marketing division of the Bureau of Public Debt. And what that meant was no more promotion of savings bonds and T-bills and notes. They said everybody can go online and get this information by going to treasurydirect.gov. But a lot of people don't know that the banks don't sell savings bonds anymore or anything. But the college wanted me to come out there and talk to the students about opportunities. And I said, there is none in my division. It was dissolved. I said, IRS is looking for a few people. And they're always looking because people quit there on a regular basis. But I didn't, there's it's a merry-go-round. But they go on to better things, and, they've got that on their resume. And they said, well, then talk about the benefits of a degree. I said, there's only one benefit to a degree. They said, oh, there's more than that. I said, no, only one benefit. It opens doors that normally would be closed to you. And that's it. Because once you go in for the interview, it's up to you to sell yourself that you have the capability of going to work for that company and you know all about them. So, it's in the interview. It opens that door that normally would be closed to you if you didn't have that degree. That's the number one benefit. From that point on, it's up to your personality and your background and everything else. So that was, but these kids today, they say 40% can't find work in their career field. And a lot of them are moving back home. I know about that.
A lot of them have student debts, too. A lot of them have debts that are owed that are tremendous.
Well, yeah, especially in the trade schools.
Sure.
There's, sometimes there's $80,000 to $100,000 debt in a trade school, and they can't find a job in that trade. And there's a lot of scam artists out there in that trade school operation, and they're still left with that debt. There is no, as I say, statute of limitations on that either.
Doesn't a trade school go guarantee some type of placement or something, or is that?
Well, they say that, but a lot of times, this one scam artist, and two of them in L.A., where they had a deal with this company, they hired him for a month, and they fire him. So
okay.
They got him a job. They guaranteed it.
Job.
So what? Okay. It should say we'll guarantee you a job that will last over so long, but you can't do that when you're on. If you've just been hired, then you got to determine that.
Right.
But here is, the borrowing of students is, it says, the student and parents are borrowing more. 2015, $1.19 trillion.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and back in 2006 was $435 billion. So you can see how high it's gone up, and the student loans are in 2015, 11.45 are in delinquency. They have no way of paying them back.
Sure.
If you're not working, what are you going to do?
What do they do
So
with
they
those
say-
debts? They leave them just hang or take and charge
Well,
interest? Or?
as soon as you get a job, then you got to pay that debt, and they'll come in and attach a portion of your wages in order to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Now, I had a niece that graduated from UC Irvine years ago. This was back in the early 80s.
Uh-huh.
And she was out of work. She had children. And then she went back to work. And here's this bill, the student loan. And it kept going and going, and it's still going on today.
Oh, my goodness.
And it increases because the interest keeps on increasing. So this is, if you don't have to take out a student loan, don't do it.
Yeah.
I never did. Of course, I went on the GI Bill, but that helped.
Yeah, my son had he's got a master's degree, and he's owed about $6,000 in student loan. His wife is a attorney, district attorney, and got her bar and everything, about a $300,000 student loan debt. What a contrast!
My GI Bill took me to within a semester of finishing my master's.
Wow.
So it was the old GI Bill, not the new one.
Not the new one, I guess.
No. And that's where I got my master's in counseling. But today is not the same. But you've got to be able to go into a field that has a potential. Art history majors aren't too good unless you're going to teach. And a lot of times, we need to, are we going to have a break here?
We got to call in.
Oh, we got to call in. But at any rate, you've got to be able to, go into a field, into the computer programming. And we've got a caller.
We need to, I'm just turn my thing up here. Let me turn it down.
Yeah, welcome to Mad as Hell. What are you mad as hell about?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question about the doctor that you guys had. I just wanted to see, did he had a prenup agreement with her before he got married? And if he had one, would it help him?
Well, the prenup is supposed to stop all this action. She only gets what the prenup says she can get.
I'm sorry?
Not what is acquired. Anything they acquire after the prenup, she'll get half. But prior to that, all his property that he owned should remain in his name. And it didn't in this case because he didn't honor that prenup agreement. And I can't believe that this happened in today's courts. And they said, no, it hasn't, no bearing, did it?
No, none at all. They didn't. They never listened to it. They buried it.
So be careful. As I say, a lot of prenups, if you get a good lawyer, like a lot of Hollywood celebrities and a high-priced one, they can get you out of a lot of this stuff if you make agreements. Somebody has a prenup and they say, well, I want the dog. Well, you never liked the dog. Well, I want the dog anyway.
I want you to have him.
So there's been cases where
the prenup wouldn't be like 100% efficient anyway. There's always loopholes around it.
Yeah, there appears to be in San Bernardino courts. I don't know of anywhere, the other counties.
Yeah, we're talking about a broken, corrupt system here with this
Wow.
San Bernardino court system.
That's really good to know.
What was the reason for asking? Are you in the process of getting married?
Yeah, just something like that, because I work a lot of hours, and you never sure about women these days. It's just that I'm always at work, and she seems that she's okay with it. So
Yeah, well,
is it after you put the ring, is that when the issue is going to start coming up, and going to say, hey, you work too much, you're not at home. So that's what scares me right there.
Well, a lot of women will say, well, why should I sign a prenup? You don't love me then. Because it shouldn't make any difference. If you love me, it wouldn't. A lot of guys back down from the prenup, but say, look, my lawyer said I have to do this in order to get married. So it's not my idea, it's his idea. If you have enough assets now and you don't want to share those assets.
I worked hard for it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be all gone that quick.
Well, that's true. And be sure of what you're getting yourself into. And
don't do anything in San Bernardino. Bypass.
No, but he didn't do a background check on her. If he
that
did
one
that,
I have not done that yet. I was thinking about doing it.
Good idea.
So, yeah, you guys give me a good idea today. So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks for the call.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Well, yeah, it's just the same
Young
thing.
guy going to get married, has a few assets, and guess what? Here's this prenup. This doctor didn't do nothing.
They think it was love, but it was lust.
Yes.
And they didn't do the background check, and
that's right.
They wind up with she's got all the assets.
Well, the doctor's pretty easy guy, pretty easy to
well, too much. I find that doctors are very they're good at what they do, but then as far as finances too, when I worked for Treasury, I had a lot of people made big investments and they went belly up, and a lot of them were doctors and dentists.
Dentists, right?
It just did not work out. But I don't know what their love life is like. I would imagine some of them made mistakes, and and.
Well, and having that much money, they make a lot of money, so they probably have some real predators out there like this lady,
Well, we have situations where the wife helps the man go through medical school. He graduates from medical school, goes into practice, and then marries his nurse.
Yeah.
And she's left there with the bills and things like that. That happens all the time, too.
Sure.
And I'd be mad as hell if that happened. But it's happening all the time. You help a spouse go, and the same thing happens with men who help their wives go through school. They finish, and they leave them. Say, thank you, and bye.
Bye.
And I want part of what you have. But this is
forever.
Yeah. So you've got to make the right decisions. It's not an easy thing. Today we have people that, I don't know what the divorce rate is. I should have looked it up, but it's up there. And doesn't seem to last that long.
It's even up there amongst Christians too. People that are Bible-based marriages and stuff, divorces are up.
Well, they attribute this to the fact that more women are in the workplace, and for instance, they get angry at the husband for some reason, and somebody at work, usually a male, comes and consoles them.
Yep.
Over lunch or drinks, and it leads to other things. So a lot of times they attribute that to a lot of the divorce situations today, and whereas in the 50s it didn't happen. The woman stayed home in the 40s and 50s, took care of the children, and my dad was that macho male, says you've got to stay here and take care of the kids and cook my meals, iron my clothes, and clean the house and do all these things.
Sure.
And they did all those things, and they didn't see anybody else. Maybe a milkman now and then.
Yeah, maybe somebody's looking at the door, right? And a neighbor or something like that. But
and they might have had an affair with them, but this thing in the workplace, it's equality, and it probably should be, but just don't make them angry enough to go somewhere else. That's the only thing I can say.
Or support yourself with good documents, legal documents, and a good court system.
But that's I've always thought that was an indication that the marriage is going to fail.
Sure.
But a lot of times they say, well, that's insurance. Well, if you really love me, why would you do that? See?
Yeah, but some of these people are in third and fourth marriages too, and they've already been bitten pretty bad.
Yeah, my dad went through about 4.
Yeah, so that the prenup for some of them, they may love the new one to death, but boy, that probably protect them a little bit.
But in my dad's situation, he divorced them, and he made more money. He gave them half, and sometimes a lot more than that,
and then gained.
And then he gained again. So he was an entrepreneur. So he always made more. But, you don't go into a marriage to fail. And I think a lot of times when they sign a prenup, it's an indication it's going to fail. They say, well, just on the outside, it may fail, so I'm going to have you sign this deal. You can't get any more.
Yeah, you go into a marriage, though, it's a partnership as well, You think you got a partner there, and, it's business and emotion, the whole 9 yards, not just one thing. And it seems today they separate it,
Well, I don't
have a...
We know a good friend of ours that had a prenup.
Yeah.
And it had an out there. There was an age difference and things like this, but he said if you stay married to me for X number of years, I'll give you this and that. And so please marry me.
Yeah, he's married and he seems happy, you know.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Got
Very good.
Yeah, so.
So, and there's no problems there. And I've seen others that, you know, what was it, Ted Turner?
Yeah.
Jane Fonda.
They had
And
something.
after his divorce, he said, it's cheaper to lease than to own. That was his statement, not mine.
Yeah, he got a good one-liner out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But these are a cautionary thing that you've got to make sure. I do graphology too, and I've been a handwriting analyst for years. And we're going to have some on here in October next month. We're going to have some that they're going to look at the handwriting of the candidates for president and tell you all about them, the personality. So remember to stay tuned on I'm Mad as Hell at 12 noon on Saturdays, because we're going to have some interesting people coming.
Yeah, I got a guest coming up. He's done smogs all his life, smog guy, and he's got some interesting tales about what happens in the world of smogs, if you will, and in the auto industry, both sides,
and the rip-offs,
and you know, some of the regulations in the state of California that are really tough. And his name is John. He's got Montclair muffler or Montclair smog
check, yeah.
Smog check, and
at any rate, think about these people. We're going to have a lot of people on workman's comp too that are coming on here, and
including an attorney.
Yeah, and I've got a gentleman who he was a police officer, and a meth lab blew up on him.
I got a friend that had worked in a warehouse and destroyed his spine with heavy lifting.
Well, this guy had scarred his lungs, and he could no longer be a police officer. But the workman's comp people sent him to doctors, and they nearly killed him. He finally got a private physician that told him, he says, "My God, in another month you'll be dead." Because they prescribed the wrong medication, did this and that, and he was so grateful to get this guy, and now he's on the road to recovery. But his story, I mean, it's not unique in any sense of the word, because a lot of people have the same stories, and we're going to bring them on here. And as I say, they're mad as hell at the system. And if you're mad as hell at the system, regardless of what it is, the politicians, the IRS, real estate deals that went bad, but whatever it is, we want you to voice your opinion here, your anger. Yeah, you can share your anger right here on I'm Mad as Hell. And that'll really, I think people, you've got to have some way to vent that. We may not have the solution, but we're going to get experts on here, lawyers and things like that. If you've got a question,
if you're mad as hell about something and you are an expert and you want to bring it on, call the station or
you're mad as hell at that
microphone.
I'm
really mad right now. So call the station or call and let us know that you have something maybe interesting, and we'll put you on.
That's it. We're about through this session today, and as I say, next week. What's our guest next week? Do we have?
I don't know. The smog guy wants to do it next week. If we give him a spot, we've got the
Syrians?
Again, the Syrian on
ISIS.
On ISIS, and that's very important. I don't think he's going to be ready next week, though.
Well,
but the smog guy might be ready, and I don't know about anybody else.
Well, I've got a few people who would like to come on.
Okay.
Voice their opinions.
Well, let's
do
our homework and get somebody.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be entertaining for you guys.
I hope so, too. So until next week, we're mad as hell, and we're going to try to make it better.
And I'm not grumpy. I am cheer challenged.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good day.
Good day.
Well, it filters through. So lay down.
You're on board
KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m. The station that leaves no listener behind.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Are the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes on the ropes? I'm Pete Fox. Midway through the first quarter, they are scoreless against Hawaii in the Horseshoe. I assume they will be fine. Number 17, Ole Miss, just underway with Fresno State. They have a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. Notre Dame scored a touchdown on a fake field goal. They missed the extra point going